Ladies and gentlemen, they did it to me again. Apple done tricked me into buying something else, spending too much money on something that's just too little in value. Ladies and gentlemen, they done got me again. What am I gonna do? It's total shenanigans. It's craziness. By the way, I know some of y'all are gonna be like, well, how did Apple trick you into anything? I mean, I'm gonna tell you a couple of instances where I feel like I was tricked and duped. I got the hooty hoo, the oop de doop, the whip wop, the flim flam. You know what I mean? When you get jacked, when you buy something off of Craigslist, and then you go to get it, and it ain't what you thought it was gonna be. That sort of thing. Although kind of in reverse, because Apple allows you to know that something's good, but just charges you all types of money for it. And at some point, you paint yourself into a corner and you gotta buy it. But let me tell you something. I am an American. I live in America, where when we make a decision and it becomes a mistake, we blame other people. That's right. I'll take credit for things that I have no control over. And if I make a choice about something and it goes bad, I'm going to blame somebody else. It's the American way. So I'm exercising my rights to do that right now. But anyway, I'm going to tell you exactly what Apple tricked me into buying, and I'm kind of glad they did. I'll tell you all about it right after this.
This is, you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back. And for all you new people, welcome. My name's Travis and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. If that sounds like fun to you, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Anything I talk about will be in the description below. But for now, let's just get into the video. Now, some of you know that I edit all of my videos here on YouTube on my iPad Pro. Now, I have the 12.9 iPad Pro 2020 edition. I don't necessarily need that one. So let me rewind back and explain why I ended up buying the Magic Keyboard for the iPad Pro and why I'm kind of upset about it. First of all, I love the iPad Pro. It allows me to edit 4K footage and export it in real time. That is to say, if I have a 4-minute video that I'm exporting, a 4-minute YouTube video, it will actually render that complete video in 4 minutes, which is really amazing considering it's a tablet, number one, and there's no fans. For context, I have a computer with 16 gigs of RAM, 8 cores, and like an 8 gig a GPU that can't do that. It can't do it as fast as my iPad. It's pretty amazing. So when the 2020 version of the iPad Pro came out, I was a little bit excited. Like I knew that I wanted to go from my then 11-inch to a 12.9, but I didn't want to re-buy the 2018 version of the iPad Pro. Because I wanted the bigger screen. I knew that I liked it that much and I wanted a bigger screen, but I figured the 2020 version was right around the corner. And it was. It came out this year. And Apple got me with the hooty hoo because I bought it and it's no better. Here's the thing. The iPad Pro 12.9 and 11-inch from 2020 is basically the same exact thing as the iPad Pro from 2018. There's essentially two differences, one of which makes no difference and the other makes very little difference. That first difference is the camera array on the back. It's now a square and you can do AR stuff. Whoop-de-doo. And the other difference, which was the reason that I bought it, is the A12ZY something or other. Anyway, the original processor on the iPad Pro was an A12X, and now this is the A12Z, so you would think it's better. I have not been able to validate that it's any better. Stay with me on this. I'm gonna get to the Magic Keyboard in a minute, but I need you to understand why I got the iPad Pro in the first place, which will explain why I got the Magic Keyboard and why I think it's a mistake. I bought the 2020 version expecting that a year and a half later, a new piece of hardware would be faster than the old piece of hardware. I know, crazy, right? I mean, literally, that never happens in phones or tablets or computers. You never buy a new piece of hardware and have it be actually faster. And while it does have more RAM, it didn't make a difference in anything that I do. As a matter of fact, I actually shot part of a video as I was going to release a video about upgrading to the 2020 version. And I figured the best way I could test out the power was to render the same exact 4K video on both my 2018 and my 2020. There was less than 1 second difference between the two. You would think by faith that you would buy something newer and it would be faster. Nope. I could also say they got me in the iPhone 11 Pro Max at 256 gig because 64 at $1,000 just didn't make sense to me. So I bought the 256 gig. There was no 128 gig version available. they kind of painted me into a corner. I knew 64 wasn't going to be enough. Although, again, it was actually enough, so that's another failure. Kind of sucks. And that brings me to the Magic Keyboard. It's actually really good. I like it a lot. So you might be wondering, why am I complaining about it? Well, for two reasons. Number one, it's $350 for the 12.9 inch or $300 for the 11 inch. It's a freaking keyboard. I actually talked about this when they first announced it. Let me roll that clip. Oh, there's a new iPad Pro. Oh, that's awesome. I edit all my videos on my iPad Pro. I love iPad Pro. Let me go check it out. Oh snap, and it's the same price and more storage. Your boy's gonna get one. Your boy's gonna get one. Let me go ahead and place this order. Oh, they got a new keyboard. Oh, look at it, it's floating, son. Oh, that's nice. Let me look at this. Okay, they put a trackpad on it. Yeah, I don't really, that's kind of dumb. You got a touchscreen on the iPad. Why do you need a, but wait, something doesn't feel right here. Why would they put a trackpad? How much is this thing? What the? And look, here, it's just a keyboard. It's not even a Bluetooth keyboard. It literally gets its power from the iPad, which is actually one of the things I like about it. But you're not paying for Bluetooth technology at all. At all. Like, you're paying for something that gets scuffed up so easily on the outside, it's absolutely ridiculous. Now you might say, well, they have a less expensive version of a keyboard folio that you can buy. And I did. That's another mistake. That thing's $200. And it's like typing on mashed potatoes. It's terrible. There's basically no redeeming value on that thing. $200 for something that types like trash, scuffs so easily, and basically is just not worth your money. The only redeeming value about it is it's kind of thinnish. When you put it on your iPad, it doesn't take up a lot of extra space. So you don't really want that. If you buy an iPad Pro, you're buying something for productivity. It's not a passive device. It's not like the $300 version of the iPad you might buy if you're just an average consumer. And when you get the Magic Keyboard, you start to see how this thing could be a laptop replacement. It looks beautiful, it types wonderfully, and you can completely adjust the angle of the screen to something that's actually usable. I mean, that part's great, but I'm painted into a corner by Apple. Here's the thing. Apple's the only one that currently allows themselves to use the 3-pin connector in the back to power a keyboard. They don't allow that for anything else, so you have to get Bluetooth keyboards. Ironically, not having to charge those Bluetooth keyboards very often actually becomes a problem because you're not used to actually charging them. You might forget that you even have to. One day when you turn it on and the keyboard doesn't work, when you need to type something really important, you're gonna wish you got the Apple version. And Apple does this pretty frequently. They give you a terrible version of something that you don't really want, but it's the only mildly affordable version, and then they give you the Ferrari, which is ridiculously overpriced. But when you get it, it actually is pretty nice. But none of that makes a difference because I bought it, I love it, and I'm gonna have to keep it. It's such a superior experience over the other version of that same product. And it's not even perfect, that's what kills me more. There's no home button, there's no customization that you get with some of these other Bluetooth keyboards. You just get a really nice keyboard case for $350, which you can buy an entire other iPad with. I know, listen, I get it. I didn't have to buy it, it's fine. I could have used the mashed potato keyboard, and that would have been okay. But I didn't spend all of that money for okay. It's my editing machine. It needs to work like a laptop. Now I know no one's gonna give me any sympathy, and here's the thing. If you have the disposable income and an iPad Pro, it's a pretty darn good product. It's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. Check the link in the description. You can purchase one yourself. You're probably gonna like it. And here's the other thing. The iPad Air, which came out not too long ago, is actually a pretty good replacement for a laptop. Did a video about it a while back. It's right here. Make sure you check that out, and I'll see you next time. Peace and love.